have an awakening occurring within an awakening. We've told you about the 48 personalities within the chakras as they merge and become. The grouping of the chakras are now going to change to 3. You're going to have 3 areas of chakras. One below, one in the middle, and one on top. Just 3 chakras. It'll be easier for you to manage. 1, 2, 3. Number 4 is you. 1, 2, 3 chakras aligned. The 4th is you. They're a pyramid, and they have an anchor in them, in a vertical line in the body. 1, 2, 3, 4 is you. Your vertical and your anchors are aligned, and then you have the ability to receive electrical current through those anchors and manage it within what you call the gravity fields, which are the anchors. And they spread this way. They're big anchors, like huge ship anchors. And they protect your auric field. They have a different, let's say, authority, because they're like anchors. They don't go anywhere unless someone pulls them or pushes them. And that's what's occurring now in the body physical. So your personalities are going to change. You must accept that. You're going to have to understand your little one again, and you're going to appreciate yourself as being the little one, because you know more, and you know how to do it. And then you understand, when you reflect back to your childhood area, instead of dwelling on the negativity, dwell on the youth of it. And when you do that, you're making your body younger, literally, because it's a physical manifestation of the thoughts of your youth. If you dwell on the negativity, then you're going to dwell on all of the damage to the body. To dwell on the youthfulness as a new one. Go back as far as you can. You can't change what is going through, but you can understand it and be a participant of your new self, which is what's going on now.
Quick question. Chakra 1 is going to be what was 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, and 5 and 6, and then the crown is the 4th one, or how does that work?
Well, you're going to have, as I said, the body's going to be divided into 3 sections.
Okay.
Okay? It's going to, the first section is up to the solar plexus bottom. Second section is bottom of the solar plexus to the throat. That's the second section. Okay?
That's 2
Third
chakras.
section is from the top to the head, neck to above the head.
Above the head.
Above the head.
So that's
From the neck up.
5, 6, 7 then, what we call it.
Well, yeah. So you're referring to the chakras within these areas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, 5,
Yes.
6, 7 is 3.
And then
4,
you got
4 and 5 is, no, 3 and 4 is number 2, and 1 and 2 is number 1.
right.
Okay,
It goes below your feet, however.
below your feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're picking up when it drops, the energy in that root chakra drops into literally to the planet, and then you have the manifestation capability of forcing growth, like it pushes plants, that kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Squeezes.
thank you.
That's what creates the water. You being sink, the tree sucks the water up, but the earth is pushing it, squeezing the water to go up. The trees before the apple falls. So when the apples let go and the process starts, so too you're in that understanding now. The apple is about ready to be let go here. And then you're in the recombination of finding the tree, which is the symbolization of the tree of life in what is termed your Kabbalah. You are moving up the path of the tree of life. You know that mystically and metaphysically, or at least some do. Yet the representation is that it's a tree. Some fruit falls to the ground and redone. This particular tree, some fruit is picked and brought forward for the banquet. As grapes are brought to be eaten, the grape knows it's going to be eaten, but knows why, and it's agreed to be the eating of it, because it has now an expression within a body that it didn't have. It knows that. The human condition doesn't understand it's doing that for the grape. It thinks it's doing it for just the selfish understanding of tasting the grape. So to you, when you are picked from the tree to be ingested by what you call those, so too you be in those. Become likened unto them. That's how it works. That's why beings eat beef and things, and for the animal energy to understand, or at least you should when you eat it. Same thing with fish. You should understand you're incorporating fish energy. It knows how to swim in the sea. You should think of that process because it gives you balance. But people don't. That was a simple explanation for just blessing your foods. So people just bless the food, blah, blah, blah. But they don't understand the food really does know that it's growing to be eaten, so it can be part of a body, human. It knows it. It knows it. But the relationship between humans and what it consumes is not there, the way it should be. That is the process you're going to become aware of. Human condition sometimes is very dense in learning capabilities. The only way that you will respect your food is when it is taken away from you. And that is what's going to happen. Your earth is going to crack. We've said that before. You need to know how to at least grow something to eat, because you're going to be separated from the abilities to have stores. We've said that before. You're going to need to know your weather conditions in a manner for freezing temperatures are not conducive for the production of food. So you're going to have your abilities for storage understood. That sort of thing. It's going to be necessary. You're beginning to get the first demonstrations of it already if you're looking at any earthquakes or volcanoes that are going off. They're trying to say the climate is going to change. Well, that's kind of a clue that something much more dramatic is going to happen. Because your media always tries to make things look so sweet for you. They're afraid of frightening you and panic. With just reasons, of course. You'd have hoarders going everything and fighting for food before it was necessary. You're going to have that fighting for food anyway. You just need to know how to work with this process called space. And gravity going to shift it. You're going to have a part of your body, if you're not aligned with those three anchors we talked to about, be over here, the other part over here, the other part over here, and you're going to look like this.
You're saying to different sides of the body.
Yes. One part will be to the left, the bottom part. One part will be to the right, the middle part. The other part will be to the left, the upper part. Or vice versa on the sides. But you need to understand what continuity means. That means that your presence, wherever it is, or whatever space, or whatever juncture, time or space, it is there. And you are there with your own knowledge of self and the respect for others. And breath is important. When you move to the higher realms, we'll say, your words, you're all there together anyway. The brain is what breathes. The brain is what breathes. Then there's another level where it's the bones that breathe. You're not doing the breathing. The bones are. Because you can't get it in that deep of what's coming up. You find your cheeks breathing. You're going to find your skull breathing. Your temples breathing. You're going to find those chakras behind your shoulder blades opening up. It's going to create pain because that's where the energy of your wings comes forth. It blows out through there, backwards, by the breath that comes from the bones. The bones open those chakras. The 7 on each side. They're a reflection of the constrictions you do not allow to work within the 7 in the front. So they're opening. And when that opens, then the triangle appear. The third eye forms in the head. It'll be a triangle, right there, golden one. It'll be your eye and another eye that's not you, working with you. The education process. Not for dominance of others. No, it's for the understanding of space and time and the preservation of consciousness. That's what that's for. That's the lessons. What you don't know is you really are responsible for other lives, more than your own. More than your own. Your life is, you know it, you have it. There are others that don't have it. They're not aware that they have it. They're using someone else's words for their formation. With the little ones you need to understand, they need to understand prayer and blessings for themselves and others. The little ones know, and then they get densified and they see the other worlds that's working, and there's confusion sets. That is the process we're in now.
You don't mean the little one in the junction of the heart. You mean...
I mean the little ones, babies now in your world.
Oh, babies, okay.
Yeah, little ones. Well, the young children.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
That's clear.
Yes. They know, and then they're shut off in a manner. So.
Who is ingesting us? What are we going to become a part of? Who are we going to become a part of?
It's yourself, really. There's a seed of the self, and it's really bringing the self back to itself. It's a huge... You don't have a representation here. It's a very large being that has wings. You would call it a bird, but it's much more than a bird. That's just the representation of the presence for space. It's much more than that. It's a thing that's aware of everything. The part of you that's aware of everything, all worlds, all whens. It's there. And you're going home to it. And with the manner is, you could say, instead of the ingesting it, if it's uncomfortable to think of it that way, is you are the breath of life for that. And it knows it breathing you, and you're aware of it.
Everyone has one?
Everyone has one. Those that are learning the process called education, and what you call, well, within, even in the demonic realms, but there's another process there. You're aware there are two atoms, yeah? One atom was death, the other atom was life. So that's the thing.
Okay.
And that's the ones. You're working with the atom of life. The other atom is the education of darkness and in other worlds. Lilith and those beings. For processes only benutzt. Well, in your world, you beings pick sides. You were told, when don't choose sides, choose yourself. The sides already know the sides. You need to choose yourself as your own self. And then what you call the supportive sides will be with you there. That's how it works. It's like if you know a being and we're well, and this being has an ally, and this ally is with that being and knows it real well, and then all of a sudden you're allied with the first being, you've already developed those other allies that are with the other being. They just come along because it's a reciprocity and agreement thing, working for the same purposes, that sort of thing. Same rules. Well, your rules are going to change. You're going to find out the rule is gravity and light in the process of what you call love to all beings, peace, protection, and joy, in the presence of mind, which is the body, in the presence of a clear, operating, understanding brain matter. The fluidic being in there. Actually, it's 4 sections in your brain. You've discovered, well, you say 2. And then there's a unification section that should be the brain altogether. Yet there's quarters there for the elemental processes of thinking. Air, water, earth, fire.
In the brain, just like the heart.
Yes. In each section. In your top section, You have air, water, earth, fire. In the middle section, as we go to the 3, air, water, earth, fire. Lower section, air, water, earth, fire. In those areas. Yes, ma'am. And then you find out eventually you're one big tablet. The air, water, earth, fire. Air upper left, water upper right, earth lower right, fire lower left. And you're working the elementals within that. That's what you're doing with your little magic fingers, if you pay attention. But remember, it's a function of time. Right now you have time collapsing. We'll say it that way. Because the spirals are becoming tighter and you're going up tighter. So the horizontal linear relationships are starting to change. You're going to find out who you are and who you're not. You're in it now. Particularly a month called April or May is going to be an electric disturbance. Right now you're feeling a gravitational disturbance. Well then when the electrical picks up to balance it, which it will, it's going to be much more enlightening, we'll say.
So this is the middle of February, so the gravity.
Yes.
And then April and May is electrical.
Electrical. You're going to feel the gravity more in March also. It's really going to get heavy in March.
Is there anything we can do? I mean,
Breathe. Slow down. Learn to slow down. Gravity has a tendency to slow you down. You need to back up in your bones, understand what your bones are telling you, because now the bones are starting to understand what gravity is. They know what it is. You do not want to fall in this condition. You want to move slowly and be particularly aware of your arms, the energy that are in the bones of your arms, because that's where you're going to get your first clue that you need to slow. Pay down. Or you will get pains in your ankles where you're walking too fast. Slow down. Slow down. You might find you just need to sit and be compensated for all the time and energy you've spent to get this far. By compensation, I mean you're relaxed, you become enjoyed by the presence assisting you, and you move into a lighter phase. That's what happens. Take advantage now of time for rest. Take advantage of time. Your weather patterns are changing globally. The birds are migrating to different places. Your whales are being washed up on the beaches all over because of the poisoning of the ocean. There's a cleansing coming. It's going to be cleansed. You'd be surprised how much force it takes to cleanse some things. But you're in the cracking now. Your continental divide that runs through your United States of America is going to split. From the northern section clear to the southern section. It's going to separate the continent. You're going to have the Mississippi River area going to crack. But that's the least of your problems. The whole California area is going to be an island. 50 miles, 100 miles maybe, to the east. It's going to be rather dramatic. You're going to have very little land in China, though they have a lot now. Very little. Japan will not be there. Europe is going to split into little island pieces. Italy will not be there. Your Africa, Saudi Arabia, Egypt areas are going to be convoluted, flipped upside down.
Become, what's the word? Diluted?
Convoluted.
Convoluted, thank you.
There's going to be a sinking in the area what you term the Saudi Arabia because of the arrogance that's going on there. Water's already starting to come up through the desert in Gaza. Water coming up. That's inland. Through the desert. They don't understand what it is yet. But as it comes up, there's something pushing it up. And it's the lava and plasmic forces within the center of the planet that are changing. that have a consciousness and are aware of the necessity to rotate, to move to another position for balance as these processes continue. And that's what's going on. Because balance is always what's searched for and required. Balance. And your planet is going through the adjustment of itself for the balance. Interiorly, it will affect the surface of the planet, what you term exterior, what you walk on. Your planet is a holy being. That's why it was described as such a favorite place, things. Apple of the eye sort of thing. The being itself is holy. Yet that's not understood yet. It will be, because it's going to call forth. It's going to claim itself as that. And only those that understand what that word means, holy, are going to be able to participate. And that is still a learning process. Because you have 3 levels of holy to get. Your body begins to sing. Your bones begin to sing. It's not verbiage. You're in a musical tone of yourself. You're singing. Your body sings. The stars are singing. Everything's singing a song. You're in the walking phase of that. Then you'll understand what food and ingestion really is. You're in that process now, literally, of a quaking, magnetic earth declaring and defining herself, showing herself, and being herself. That's what's going on. And it's affecting the surface creatures. They're going nuts. Not so much the animals. The animals themselves are realizing the movement. This is where the lion lays down with the lamb. I'm talking about the human creatures that have no understanding. They're acting like the animals used to. That's because that's what they're taught. So you find out who their teacher is. And don't listen to that teacher. That's what's occurring in your planet. It's in the news. It's in the news. Murders are everywhere, as if they think they're going to get away with something. It's a sad state of affairs. So, that's where you are.
But is that where we have to go? Can we change it? Can we make it more vanilla?
How you're going to change it is you're going to be riding it and realize what's happening. That's the only way. You're not going to be able to change this one. This gravity wave is moving, it's creating the heaviness. You need to ride it and take this roller coaster ride, sit in your seat, put your seatbelt on, breathe through it, don't wish damage to anyone. As for peace, protection, and joy, everyone will align to the truth. Because that's what's coming on now. It's going to happen. Truth will only be available for blessings. And by that mean, when you breathe in truth, you will continue. If you breathe in anything else, you will not continue. You will short-circuit yourself. Truth and justice is coming. Peace to all beings is justice. Peace to all beings. There is a being that creates peace to all beings, whatever space he is in, because he owns it. He knows what peace is. Peace is justice. And it's not radicalized justice either. It's peace. And the formation of that justice, if you don't understand peace, is pain in the body, where the body cannot move. It's crippled. It is put down. It is stapled and chained. That's what happens. Humanity now is feeling this gravity wave, which is the movement in the presence of peace. Heavy gravity, you cannot do anything. So you need to understand your prayers of protection, which is peace to all beings. That'll get you through things. We used to give certain prayers from your biblical references, but right now we're giving you a quicker one Peace to all beings. That's a command from the inner portion of your God self that understands what prayer is and understands what peace is, within the self anyway, to all beings within the self, to those 144,000 spiritualized cells that are in the heart chakra, becoming more. The part of that wisdom now thing gained, where health is always there. The other processes is the learning processes, not health. Any other questions? You have in your May month coming, you have this calendar time, May 1st. That is Beltane. That is a Sabbath of an old oracle. It means a holy day of becoming, manifesting, birthing all things. Pay attention to your thoughts. We will say 30 days before, but more appropriately 3 days before and 3 days afterwards.
What's the word you said, Beltane?
Beltane, B-E-L-T-A-N-E.
Okay.
Beware of your sexual orientation during those times. No sex. No intercourse for those 6 days. 3 before, 3 after. And you will understand it then, at the 4th one after, how you manifest. You will understand it. You might not like it, but you will know how and why you did it. Maybe not the why, but you'll know how you did it. And you'll be judging yourself for it. That's why I say abstain from sex 3 days before, 3 days after. So you can be in the purity of yourself with this Beltane thought. It's a manifestation day. Beltane, the holy day. We put it's a holy woman's day, by the way. The holy day for women. This used to be called, it is called the Witch's Sabbath, but it's much more than that. Not witch. It's a holy women's Sabbath, and they know it. And they work well there. The invisible dark ones, they'll come and work with you if you understand and appreciate that day. This is for issue. On that day, you can change the world. And there's where your change will come from. Because you're working with the priestesses of nature. The feminine goddesses of nature. They have authority. They can assist.